Yes. Are we so? Okay. This is distinct from these ones, right? It's part of this. Okay. I want to sell all 4 of these in a group. It is this Diego Beanie Skella Animals, and also this Death Note Ryuk, and also this Bloom Bear, right? And also this Sephiroth. Okay, they're not dirty, but they're not clean. Like there's lint and shit on them. So you may want to brush them off with a lint brush, or was it detergent and a toothbrush and clean off the surface before you fuck them, because guys can actually get UTIs from fucking. It's just a lot harder because the urethral passage is longer, and so the bacteria have farther to travel up. They can eventually. Guys still piss after having sex, even with plushies. Women, if you don't know this, fuck, I hope you do, but women, after you've had sex, go piss right away, okay? I really hope you knew that already. But here's a quick funny story before I sell the plushies. I grew up fundamentalist. I was homeschooled by crazy-ass fundamentalists, and they sent me to a crazy-ass fundamental boarding school for high school, right? I finished grade 12 with the exposure to sexual education I had was, 1, I grew up on a beef ranch. I knew the mechanics. Dick gets hard, goes into vagina, boom, you're done. Dad, why are the male cows fucking each other? Well, son, they're just really horny. Humans don't do that. They don't have access to the women. So basically, Dad explained it like prison sex. Like if you don't have women around, some dudes will get so desperate they'll fuck men. And bless his heart, he may have thought that because he was also a fundamentalist raised by fundamentalists and didn't go to college. So I knew about the mechanics because I grew up on a beef ranch. The entirety of my other education was limited to, is anybody familiar with James Dobson's focus on the family?
Yep.
Okay, James Dobson is an American fundamentalist who is dedicated to the idea that North American families should look exactly like Leave It to Beaver, the TV show from the 50s, about how people in the 50s thought the ideal American family should look when controlled by American censors who wouldn't let them put a large bed in the parents' bedroom and had them sleep in 2 separate beds. And Dobson's like, that is how it should look. So I managed to escape from high school having learned 0 about kink or consent. Literally, I did not know consent was a thing, right? The fundamentalist Christian attitude toward sex, and if there are any fundamentalist Christians in here, I'm not saying that you're a bad person, I'm saying the system, the social culture, does not acknowledge that women have sexual agency. Women are to remain pure and virginal until they are married, at which point they are to be sexually available to their husbands for the purpose of reproduction. Full stop. The idea that women should want to fuck is literally foreign to the fundamentalist Christian concept of female sexuality.
It's not the only religion that does it.
What?
Don't worry, it's not the only religion that does that.
No, I know. I'm just saying from my experience, this is, yeah, also I'm pretty sure Islam, on the same page. But it holds that basically, it's weird because simultaneous, like women definitely don't want to have sex. Women don't want to have sex. Women, space addressing you, don't want to have sex. But simultaneously, it's like, look, if you let women out of the house, their vaginas will open up like an alien crab thing and just start grabbing onto penises. Okay. So you have to keep them safe. Like that's not actually the physical thing they believe will happen, but they're like, if women get out of the house, they'll fuck everything. So you have to, like it's an ancient Greek sort of tradition. It's weird as fuck. So I don't know that anybody in here grew up fundamentalist and didn't escape that sort of shit. I know a guy who's on his 2nd marriage. He went to the same fundamentalist boarding high school I did. he also had fundamentalist crazy parents. His second wife and he had a discussion. He's a wonderful person. He's not fundamentalist Christian anymore. They had a discussion. He went to the same boarding high school I did. About eggs, about women's ovaries and egg production. He was under the impression, having been through high school biology class at a fundamentalist Christian in Canada, right, that women produced eggs at the same rate and volume that men produce sperm. That was his second wife's reaction. His first wife also grew up fundamentalist, did not leave. So yeah, and then he and his second wife had a discussion after which, and I'm not naming him because like he thinks it's funny now. I don't want to shame him, but this is the sort of environment that I grew up in. And he and his wife, and afterwards he was like, you know, now that I've said that out loud, obviously the math doesn't work out. I cannot believe I got through high school without having been taught that, like I knew about it because I grew up on a beef ranch, and you have to know how reproduction works, or you don't get any more cows. But yeah, also, I wasn't aware that kink existed until after I graduated high school. So, by kink, I don't mean like sounding, because I did find out about sounding later. Not into it. Well, I mean, I haven't tried it, but I'm like, maybe in a long-term relationship with someone with a lot of fucking lube, really steady hands, I'd risk it. Maybe. Because I've read Reddit threads about doctors who was the most horrible injury you've ever seen, and some of them involve sounding. I got out of high school without being aware. Like, I knew that homosexuality was a thing that happened. The training I received in my youth was that homosexuals could be cured. Right! I want to emphasize, I graduated in 1996, 8, something like that. Like, I am not 80 years old. I did not graduate with Beaver Cleaver. Like, reasonably modern. Like, we had internet before I graduated. And I was under the impression that homosexuals could... These are the people who actually set up homosexual re-education camps. And I don't mean in the Nazi sense, except I kind of mean in the Nazi sense. Like in that if people voluntarily check themselves in, they can go. But people generally get voluntarily checked in by their parents.
Mike Pence killed kids.
Yeah, Mike Pence kills children. Fuck him. But he operates in a social environment where, oh no, homosexuality can be cured. But I say that to emphasize that, like, the idea that someone might enjoy rough sex, the idea of rough sex isn't even in the picture, right? Fundamentalist Christians don't talk about sex. They can't even say the word sex. They have an entire book that is fuck poetry. 100% metaphor. They think that that's how it works. That's how you talk about sex. So, fundamentalist Christianity, and I'm just saying fundamentalist because if you go to like a Unitarian church, their gay female pastor will happily talk about sex with you. But fundamentalists, different culture entirely, and they will literally only speak of sex in metaphor.
Blank stare in his eyes, should have given up on the ones I trust. Never should have been surprised when they shot him down, cold blood to the ground.